Today we're going to discuss a book called Working Identity, with the subtitle Unconventional Strategies for Reinventing Your Career. It explores how to adapt our professional identity when facing new challenges and opportunities. Career transition is a familiar topic in the professional world. While traditionally it might mean switching from publishing to finance, this book takes a broader view. It suggests that a career transition isn't just about changing industries. It can also mean taking on entirely new responsibilities or roles within the same field, facing fresh challenges that require different skills and approaches. In today's society, talent mobility is increasingly common, making job changes and career transitions more normal than ever. Why? Because most of us rarely find our perfect fit or realize our full potential in our first job. After a few years, many reach a point where they need to reassess their career path. Some continue in their field but face new challenges, while others choose entirely different directions. According to the author, most people will work in 3 different organizations throughout their lives and experience at least one significant career transition. While some navigate these changes successfully, others struggle. Since making a career transition is such a crucial decision, how can we increase our chances of success? That's exactly what this book addresses. The author, Herminia Ibarra, is a professor of organizational behavior at INSEAD Business School and previously taught at Harvard Business School for 13 years. She's highly respected in academia and was named one of the 50 most influential management thinkers of the 21st century by Harvard Business Review, largely due to her research on corporate strategy and professional identity. This book presents her findings from in-depth interviews with 39 carefully selected professionals, analyzing their transition experiences. Her conclusions challenge many conventional beliefs about career transitions and offer fresh perspectives. Let's explore how to successfully navigate a career transition through 3 key aspects. First, why most people fear or feel unable to make career transitions. Second, how to proceed once you've decided to make the change. Third, understanding what actually changes during a career transition. Let's start with the first question. Why are we afraid to make career transitions? Most of us have professional dreams, becoming an artist, musician, or entrepreneur. But reality often intervenes with mortgages and daily pressures, forcing us to compromise. Interestingly, the author's research suggests that these perceived obstacles are often less formidable than they appear. Common concerns like high mortgage payments, age limitations, or uncertainty about other career options, while natural, might be misguided. The book illustrates this with a metaphor. Imagine a woman swimming while clutching a heavy stone. As she approaches the middle of the lake, the stone's weight pulls her down. Onlookers shout for her to let go of the stone, but she refuses, insisting, "I can't drop it. It's mine," even as she sinks. This story represents how many of us cling to perceived limitations. Don't cling to your current situation like a drowning person holding onto a rock, believing your circumstances cannot change. We often think we can't move that boulder, can't leave our comfortable job, can't develop new skills, can't start new ventures, and can't face an uncertain future. So we desperately hold on to what we have, just like someone clutching a rock and sinking deeper into the water. In reality, all these worries and assumptions are based on our past experiences and conditions. They shouldn't dictate our future choices. The decision to change jobs or choose a career path shouldn't solely depend on what we've done before or our current position. So what should we consider? The author presents a career choice pyramid with 3 levels to help us think about what kind of work we should pursue. At the top of the pyramid is the most common approach to choosing a career, focusing on the visible aspects like which organization we work for and what position we hold. While this is how most people choose their careers, it's rather superficial. The second level of the pyramid delves deeper. Here, we consider our abilities, preferred working conditions, and what value work brings to our lives. People thinking at this level aren't limited by specific positions or companies. For example, someone who defines their ability as helping companies transform can work in large or small companies, as a consultant or on the front lines, as a professional manager or an entrepreneur. While their positions may change, their passion and expertise remain constant. Choosing work from this perspective is more profound and accurate than the first level. However, the author believes the third and foundation level of the pyramid is most crucial. Here, you contemplate, What truly matters in my life? What are my worldview and values? What really matters to me? Many of us unconsciously work to become what others think we should be, rarely considering who we could truly become. The book shares an example of a highly successful executive who, despite achieving high position and income, felt dissatisfied but couldn't explain why. He changed jobs several times, performing well and earning good money, but remained internally unfulfilled. Surprisingly, as his career flourished and he became busier, he realized that family and children were deeply important to him, yet he had sacrificed these for career success. He had never recognized how closely his career choices were tied to his family life. The more professionally successful he became, the further he grew from his family, leading to increasing inner dissatisfaction. When he finally acknowledged how crucial family and children were to him and what he should truly prioritize in life, he courageously left his position for work that balanced family life with his professional skills. While others found this decision incomprehensible, he felt incredibly fulfilled. Moreover, they have better opportunities to live life according to their true passions. When people break free from traditional mindsets and superficial values, they can better discover their core values. An auditor might leave their accounting firm to start a toy company. A professor on track for tenure might become a stockbroker. Even a lawyer might give up everything to become a ship captain. When facing a career change, we all experience worry, anxiety, fear, and insecurity. We tend to cling to our comfort zone like a rock in the water, even if it's dragging us down. As the author points out, our reluctance to change careers stems from our inability to let go of seemingly rational but ultimately misguided beliefs. Our conventional thinking is, I should switch to whatever job pays more based on my current skills. However, the author suggests that the right time to change careers isn't just about income. It's when you discover something you're genuinely passionate about, or when you realize your aspirations are incompatible with your current role. These are the signals indicating your optimal time for transformation. Now that we've discussed how to choose a career and when to make a transition, let's explore how to make this career change successful, our second topic. After deciding to change careers, most of us think we must find something we truly love. To discover this passion, we consult friends, reflect on past experiences, and some even seek professional career counselors. Regardless of our approach, once we believe we've found our true passion, we take action. We think we've found it and commit ourselves fully to succeeding. If you're considering a career change, you might think similarly. However, the author's research suggests this approach is actually counterproductive and is often why career transitions fail. While finding what we love isn't inherently problematic, the issue is that passion and love should be the cause, not the result. In psychology, there's a concept that everyone has an authentic self waiting to be discovered. Finding this authentic self supposedly reveals our true passions and, consequently, our ideal career path. This is the foundation of traditional career planning. However, the author argues this is precisely where traditional career planning goes wrong. Stanford psychologist Hazel Marcus introduced the concept of possible selves. The author explains that possible selves is a more reasonable psychological assumption than the authentic self. This concept suggests that each person is a collection of possible selves, rather than having a fixed authentic self buried within us waiting to be discovered. We're like clay that needs constant shaping and sculpting. In other words, an authentic self might not exist because we're not just one self, but rather a composite of many possible selves. The self is something we shape and create. What does your future look like? In reality, there are countless possibilities. Your task is to explore these various possibilities and realize your potential self. Your authentic self is rooted in the past, while your possible self is grounded in the present and future. While the past is set in stone, the future holds infinite possibilities. Therefore, when changing careers or making professional choices, the author suggests abandoning the notion of a fixed, authentic self and instead focus on discovering your potential selves. Don't start by thinking or planning what I like to do, and then limiting yourself to just that. Instead, take action first, experiment and experience as many different fields as possible. Let yourself explore multiple directions through various experiences and trials. Eventually, through these explorations, you'll find the version of yourself you want to become. This is the beginning and key to your career transition. How can we discover our possible selves? The author provides a tool called the Reality Possibility List. For example, a professional manager preparing for a job change didn't first consider what I'm most passionate about. Instead, he listed all the possible roles he could envision himself in. His list included becoming a CFO at a top company, working in investor relations, becoming an art advisor at a private bank, switching to another company as a broker, returning to school to study languages and history, starting a company related to French food and wine, finding work that leverages his bilingual skills and cultural knowledge of America and France, and expanding a luxury brand into international markets. This list outlined the manager's possible selves, all representing different potentials. His task was to explore these possibilities one by one, rather than searching for a single, authentic self. This highlights a common misconception about career changes. Don't fixate on a single goal, but rather explore multiple possible selves. Once you identify a potential direction, should you commit fully? Not necessarily. The author points out that traditional career planning's all-in approach is another misconception. When you find a possible direction, there are still many uncertainties, and it may not be appropriate to commit completely. The author's recommended approach is trial and error. How? By testing different work opportunities on a small scale with low risk, observing what you enjoy. This doesn't mean quitting your current job. Instead, develop side projects while maintaining your primary employment. If you're too busy for part-time work, try taking on relevant freelance projects in your area of interest. If that's not possible, focus on learning through training programs and networking in your desired field. Through these experimental approaches, you'll gradually discover whether your imagined opportunity or field truly suits you, laying the groundwork for your eventual career transition. The author suggests not immediately quitting your job to pursue a new path, but rather continuously experimenting and adjusting your role while validating your ideas. This process of trial and error is about discovering potential versions of yourself. Since our energy is limited and career transitions are costly, we should use low-risk, small-scale experiments to explore possible versions of ourselves. For transitioning to a new field, the author provides two recommendations. First, list various possibilities to explore potential selves. Second, continuously experiment during the search. Additionally, there's a crucial third point. Develop new connections in your desired field, building a network beyond your existing professional circles to increase your chances of successful transition. When developing new connections, finding a mentor is key. For example, if you're moving from education to finance, you need someone who understands the financial industry or has similar transition experience to guide you. A mentor can help you progress faster, introduce you to new circles, familiarize you with industry norms, and support your psychological transition. Another crucial aspect is building new social and professional networks. During career transitions, we face various challenges and pressures. For instance, if you're transitioning from a 9-to-5 administrative role to becoming an artist or writer, you might suddenly lose your steady income. If you maintain only your old social circles during this time, you'll likely face opposition because people will judge you based on their existing perception of you. That's why connecting with artists or others who have successfully made similar transitions is crucial. Their support and example can provide real help and motivation. Seeing others succeed can boost your confidence to persist. To maintain determination during transition, finding a professional mentor, stepping out of your old circles, and building new networks are essential. These are the 3 key steps for transitioning to a new industry: discovering multiple possible selves, rapid experimentation, and building new connections in your chosen field. The author emphasizes that career transition isn't simply changing jobs. It's about reconstructing your professional identity. Professional identity encompasses not just daily tasks, environment, and connections, but fundamentally how we view ourselves. Reconstructing professional identity means bridging who we were with who we want to become. For instance, transitioning from an auditor to an artist involves more than just skill changes. It requires understanding and accepting the deeper meaning of this transformation. To establish value alignment between your past and future identities, the author suggests creating a new narrative about your transformation, giving new meaning to your transition journey. For example, imagine you're a 9-to-5 administrator who's dissatisfied with your work. You start exploring various activities like yoga, dance, cooking, and swimming classes. Through a chance encounter with a master baker, you discover your true passion for baking and decide to open a bakery. This represents a transformation from administrator to baker, encompassing a complete professional identity shift. The magnitude of such a career transition is undoubtedly significant. How can you help yourself and others accept this change? People might find it hard to understand. Why would you leave such a stable job to become a baker? This disconnect makes it difficult for others to bridge the gap between your past and future self. You might even question yourself, why am I leaving a stable career to become a baker? What's the solution? You need to craft a narrative that gives meaning to your journey. For instance, you could tell yourself and others, I've always been passionate about good food. Even in my previous administrative role, I loved organizing food-related events for everyone. Now I've realized that baking brings me immense joy and satisfaction, and I can make a living from it. Isn't that one of the most wonderful things in life? That's why I'm pursuing this path. See, you've reconstructed your past experiences into a coherent story. Through this narrative, you've rationalized the connection between your previous work experience and your future role as a baker. All your past experiences become preparation for this career transition. When we tell these stories, we often add logic to what might have been random events. In fact, we all naturally embellish our stories when we share them. Our stories are never purely objective reflections, but as the author suggests, we should continue to refine and polish them until they resonate with both ourselves and others. Why? Because during transition periods, psychological acceptance and recognition are challenging and can create significant pressure. You need to find reasoning that both you and others find convincing to gain support and increase your chances of successful transition. How can you build meaning into your transition process? The author offers 3 methods. First, continuously reflect on various events in your life. For example, after taking a baking class or talking with a food enthusiast, what thoughts and feelings emerged? Document these reactions to explore whether you genuinely enjoy this new field. Try to connect these experiences to your life's broader meaning. Second, take a step back to move forward. When we're caught up in our daily routines, it's difficult to construct new meaning for our lives. Learn to temporarily distance yourself from daily pressures. This doesn't mean isolating yourself to contemplate life's meaning, but rather stepping outside your usual work environment to try different things. The author mentions Brenda, who declined a high-paying job similar to her previous role after resigning. Instead of rushing to find work, she first joined community projects and volunteered at public schools. She deliberately placed herself in different environments to reassess her goals. After this volunteer period, she discovered her calling and created a unique professional identity as a literary agent for authors. While unusual, she found her value and meaning through this temporary withdrawal from conventional work. Finally, use significant life events that move you to examine your work's meaning. The book mentions someone who couldn't decide to change careers until a friend of similar age passed away due to overwork. Such pivotal moments can help clarify the meaning behind your career transition. These are the key messages from the book Career Change. In summary, changing careers is the result of a complex series of actions. It's not an overnight switch from point A to B, nor is it simply about changing job titles. It's a continuous process of exploration and gradual progression, coupled with a transformation of professional identity and psychological recognition. In this process, the author highlights 3 crucial points. The first key point is that career transition is fundamentally a process of rapid trial and error, involving imitation, experimentation, and iteration. Through diverse attempts, we discover and find possible combinations for reinvention. The second key point is that once you've identified your desired direction for transformation, you should actively seek mentors for support and build a new network of connections. This helps you develop better mental representations and gain emotional support. The third key point is that career transition is essentially a process of reshaping self-identity and values, a journey of redefining and reinterpreting professional identity. During this significant identity transformation, we need to assign meaning to our changes by crafting a narrative that connects our past with our future. This helps both ourselves and others understand and support our decisions, ultimately facilitating a more successful career transition.